We are joined now by the governor of Maryland, Mr. Wes Moore. Gov, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, I am great. How y'all feeling? How was Thanksgiving?
Oh, great,
It
man.
was great, man. We all had a great time.
Good.
Gov, we're in the content game, and maybe you could leave the content to us because you're in the government game. But BMitch and I both watched and really enjoyed your interview on the pivot.
Yeah, it was good
with Ryan Clark. How did that come to be?
Well, listen. First of all, I think people have to realize, I'm a legit fan of this work, man. And so when I was so I told them, I was like, listen, I listen to you guys, and they're like, listen, we'd love to have you on the show and just chop up. So they came through. We talked a little bit of football, a little family, a little politics. So it was a real good time.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. Good interview, man. Damn good one.
Well, thank you, man.
It seems like you guys might have a wager for Sunday's game.
Yeah.
I think we do. When he said 25 push-ups, I was like, that's it. So you don't have much faith in your team.
It did get me a little curious, Governor. You are a busy dude. But you obviously stay in good shape. Like you're quite fit, kind of jacked. How do you make time? What is your fitness routine like?
So I tell you, I don't compromise on this, and I think it's actually really important that people understand. Like, you need to find those things that you're just like, listen, this goes on your schedule, and one of the first things that goes on my schedule every single morning, I work out over at the Naval Academy, and
awesome.
And it's an amazing experience working out. First of all, when you get a chance to work out with the midshipmen and all these young boys, and particularly because as an Army guy, all these Navy guys always trying to smoke me, so I think it's comical. But ain't no way I'm going out like that. But it's been great because honestly, it's as much mental health as it is anything else. And listen, same thing for you guys. Like, there's a competitive spirit that athletes have. And you never lose that.
Yeah.
And so every single morning I will be up at the Naval Academy, getting after it. So it's been great.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
You go one quick man, Gov. I love the story when they gave you the map and you say, "Oh, you want to leave here?" And you were walking in circles in the woods.
I'm glad you loved it because I didn't love it when it happened to me.
you seem to have taken it as a building block though in your life.
That's right. They literally were sitting there watching a flashlight doing circles and laughing the whole time because they knew the map was fake. The map took me to the middle of the woods, and I thought I was going to the train station. So it was but what's funny about it is it's the same thing that when I moved up and got in leadership. I did the same thing to these young boys. I was like, and they wanted, I was like, here, you can leave. Here's a map. So it's just a tradition that we just passed on. It's just hazing.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I love it. I love it. All right, Governor. Certainly I don't know where you want to start, but I feel like Steelers-Ravens is a good place to start. This is a massive game with the NFC North on the line. And interestingly, there's a lot of pressure on Mike Tomlin. And in these spots, he's generally responded. I just don't know what they have offensively. You want to start there with the Ravens and the Steelers?
So I think there's a lot of pressure on Mike Tomlin, but I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of pressure on Harbaugh too. I mean, in fact, I would actually probably argue there's probably more pressure on Harbaugh because you can't have the roster that we have built during the offseason and not win the division. And not keep on losing to your division, and keep on losing to your division rivals. Right? So I think both these coaches have very real pressure on them right now. This is a hard one for me because I can't stop thinking about what I saw on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving was horrible. I mean, just across the board, we were just beaten. Right? We were beaten off the line. We were beaten on special teams. We were beaten in coaching. We were beaten. And beaten at home in a prime time game. And so it's just difficult for that to lose, for that to escape my mind. I am going with my guys this Sunday. I think I'm hoping that home field advantage is going to matter in this. I mean, the bank is going to be rocking. These games are always tough. The Steelers are banged up. The Ravens are banged up too, and Lamar is not at 100%. But the Steelers are banged up too. So I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. But I do want to be clear: this is a must-win for the Ravens, and truthfully, this is a must-win for Harbaugh.
It feels that way, and it's just so weird with the Ravens right now because Lamar doesn't seem right. Even Derrick Henry
don't seem right.
Like it just doesn't seem right. But Pittsburgh, nothing seems right either.
Correct. No, these are frankly two teams that are both beaten up. There's a certain swagger that, and here's the thing to remember: there's always been a swagger about Steelers-Ravens.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
Always looking forward to this game. Like, this is going to be good football. It's going to be tough football. It's not. I have to be honest with you. If you look at the way both the Steelers and the Ravens have been playing in recent weeks, even the same energy about the game is not there. So this is going to be a tough one because I think for both teams who just pride themselves on this rivalry and pride themselves on what it's going to deliver and pride themselves, there's something going on right now in both cities that is just really challenging.
So Gov, you're taking the Ravens though. It sounds.
Yeah, he said it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one, but this is hard, right? This is I'm nervous that this is talking about like is this what it looks like when we're watching Ali in the 80s? You know what I'm saying? It's like this is
interesting.
This is tough. This is getting tougher to watch.
So that gets us to our next game for you to pick pretty well. The Bengals are traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. What is your level of nerves about the Bengals coming back in the division, especially after Thanksgiving night?
So I'm still not a believer in the Bengals. I think that they were playing the Baltimore Ravens when the Baltimore Ravens are still trying to figure out our identity right now. I think the Bills have been, the last couple of weeks in the Bills have been really, really tricky. But the thing about the Bills, in terms of just being a sound football team, I think the Bills are still a sound football team. I think the fact that the Bills are at home does make a huge difference, particularly as we get later and later into the year and you're getting into these winter games. So I do think that matters. So Joe Burrow is the truth. Joe Burrow is arguably, I would say arguably, actually not arguably, the second best quarterback in the AFC when healthy, right behind Lamar. So I do think that matters. I think you saw the offensive spark that the team has been missing for a while since Burrow's been out. I was listening to somebody talk about how they're making an argument for Joe Burrow's MVP because they haven't lost with Joe Burrow, as quarterback. The only time they've lost is when Joe Burrow hasn't played. So it's fair, and that's a fair point. I just think the Bills are just too tough and too consistent a team, and particularly when you're going home. So I'm going with the Bills in this one.
I know it's a bad word in Baltimore, sir, but I think Patrick Mahomes might like a word with you on your AFC quarterback rankings.
He might. I'm not saying in the career, but I am saying if you had to pick a quarterback right now that you wanted to build around and healthy, I just think that when you look at the numbers that Joe Burrow does put up, and you look at the age of Joe Burrow, it might be blasphemy, especially in Kansas City, but I think that everyone would argue that Patrick Mahomes' best days, and they were some damn good days, but they're probably behind him.
Well, what's even crazier than that, and I think if you're talking, and not to get too sidetracked here, but if you're really talking AFC quarterbacks, considering age, talent, everything, at some point Drake May comes in that conversation. I don't know; it may be premature at this point, but I don't know. It's an interesting time, particularly in the AFC, with the true powerhouses, the Chiefs, the Ravens, seemingly, at least for this year, on a downturn, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of football left. One of the teams,
I'm not, and I just say though, I'm not mad at that. It's still too early.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's still too early to throw Drake May in that conversation.
I agree with you. Now, speaking of Mahomes and what Kansas City is or isn't at this point. They are fighting for their playoff lives. They play Sunday night.
Tough defense.
Sunday night against a Texans team that is absolutely surging, playing excellent defense, really gets after the quarterback. What do you make of that Houston-KC matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, these last weeks, too, I've been really impressed by the Chiefs, by the Texans. And you're right. That defense is just lights out. Yeah. That defense is looking really, really good. And I think for most offenses, their defensive scheme makes it really tricky for a lot of these offenses to read. I am still going to go with the Chiefs on this one. The Texans are on a roll. But I think when you're watching the Chiefs who are just vying for a playoff spot, and frankly, I think when you saw even the last couple of weeks what the Chiefs have been able to show is that there's still a lot of fighting that dog. And so, Patrick Mahomes is a gamer. And I've been saying it all year, I still have a very real issue with the fact that Patrick Mahomes is a team leading rusher. And so I think, it just shows one of the real weaknesses that Kansas City has. But I think Kansas City pulls this one off, despite the fact that I do think that this surge that we're seeing by the Texans, it is impressive.
Yeah. I mean, the kid Anderson, like the way Houston plays defense is the way coaches talk about wanting to see
violent.
That's right.
Violent. Yeah. I mean, even their corners. One of the things that I find so impressive is how physical that secondary
and they
plays.
wrap up when they tackle.
Remarkable.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right, before we get to the Commanders, Governor, we're skipping ahead to Monday Night Football. The L.A. Chargers look pretty hot. The Eagles do not. What do you make Chargers-Eagles?
Yeah, this is going to be one of the better games of the week because I'm actually going with the momentum play on this one. And I know right now I think Vegas has the Eagles up on this by 3 or something, or something along those lines. I think Vegas is wrong, and I think the Chargers are going to pull this off. I think there's something going on with the Eagles, and it's not a field problem. It's a locker room problem.
I agree
with that. And as we're getting to this point of the year, locker room problems are more problematic than field problems. And I don't know exactly what is going on when it's not even just that you're having a lot of the challenge of where's the leadership coming from. Then you're getting all the backbiting, which is really tricky when you're getting folks talking to the press and all that kind of stuff. And so, I know Herbert is shaken up. And he's got the hand injury. The thing that does give me confidence in it is that it's his non-throwing hand. Yep. And I just think Herbert has been playing great. And by the way, let me tell you, if you're a fantasy guy like me who has Herbert on my team, Herbert he's been delivering this year. So shout out to Herbert in fantasy.
I know you got to run. So last one, another quarterback with possibly an injury on his non-throwing hand. Commanders going to Minnesota, Washington Vikings.
Yeah. If Jaden plays on Sunday, I think the Commanders wipe the floor with him because again, you're right. It's on his non-throwing arm. And I'd say, first of all, shout out to Jaden Daniels. When I saw that injury, I was like, oh God, like the fact that he is back on the field this quickly is really pretty extraordinary and says a lot about, again, the fight that this kid has.
Yes.
But this is going to be the first time all season that if he plays, that you're seeing him play with Terry, you're seeing him play with Debo, you're seeing him play with Cosme, you're seeing all that stuff right now. And I just tell you, even though and I'm not a whole, like, that was a good loss kind of guy. I'm like, a loss is a loss. But that was a damn good loss last week. A damn good loss. And so, when you combine that with the way that the Vikings are playing, McCarthy just looks terrible. He just looks lost. He just looks like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. Yeah. And so I think that the Commanders win, even if Mariota's under center, but the Commanders win easy if you got Jaden.
Governor, I know you're busy. Thank you for the time, sir.
Man.
Hey, I appreciate y'all so much, man.
Stay out of the snow.
I'm trying to.
All right. Thanks, Gov. Take care.
Take care, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Recapping the Governor's picks. He's got the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and Washington.
Yeah.
I think he's right, and I think we'll know soon about kind of Jaden's status.